We did it. We're together. We gave up on live. We came to Zoom, and we
It's
hope
so
we'll
much
be able to
easier.
get this out to the people who are waiting for us. Um, I think it has to do with the level of shadow ban. I really, truly believe that. You look cute. What are you drinking today?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, Tito. Tito straight with
No,
a
just
nipple, just straight with a nipple. Yeah.
no,
I'm
no,
having
no,
a
no.
one fine day.
No, my trick is cherry diet, cherry 7 Up.
I'm having a one fine
So
day. Basil
it's
vodka and
actually
La Poire with some lemon juice.
okay. That sounds really good.
It's delicious.
I'm a little
Someday
jealous.
you will be here to get one. Most of my friends have had them. So we will savor that for later. Um, well, what do you think? I
This
think,
week has been crazy.
yeah, well, with the kids home and you know, it's kind of interesting that things have been so quiet.
It, weirdly quiet. It's not like it's just been like quiet. It's just been like silent. I feel like from all the mouth, all that I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
mouthpiece, but all the talkers of the grassroots here in our state.
Hmm. Well,
Now,
not just the
interesting.
grassroots, but even those that, don't consider themselves, reformer on the Ohio State Central Committee, have been eerily quiet about, what's happening. Um, so let's jump in.
Well, when you're running for chair, apparently everybody's a grassroots candidate. So
Yes, that we have learned. We have learned that everybody's grassroots and you can say anything because anyone will believe what you said, I guess. You
especially
know,
Steve Bannon.
Steve Bannon, uh Tom
Come on,
Z.
how inappropriate though. Like I'm not well, I know we're not getting into it yet, but like a national platform for ORP chair.
uh it's said that it's because how desperate the establishment is, and I fear that they are the establishment.
Well, he said he was the MAGA, I think he said sorry, that stupid ring light thing was on. The MAGA grassroots candidate, Bryan
I'm
Williams.
sorry, I didn't watch it. I couldn't get past that because that's just ludicrous and laughable. Um,
Well, I'm gonna
because
be honest, I didn't watch it either. What did you say? It was all I needed was the
right, the title, the mega candidate, and it's yeah, that could be farther from the truth. I mean, we already see, especially with handing over in September, the memorandum of understanding, handing it over to the CEO, Renacci. Renacci could be billed as the furthest from grassroots. I mean, I think we've already established that in
well,
Ohio.
is he is was since we know Ohio State Central Committee has 5 people running, right? We have Gene
Uh,
Anderson.
yeah, Alex Triantaflu,
Thank you for saying his last name. I can't.
Jimmy
Dale
Stewart,
Fellows.
and Dale Fellows, and Bryan Williams, and
Yes.
then
So
Gene. Yeah.
we're talking about Bryan Williams, but Bryan Williams, what happened a couple months ago with him? You want to go into that?
Um,
Because I don't think Renese's out.
in September, when the reformers came in and they were misled regarding the ORC and the interpretation of that, a memorandum of understanding was leaked between Bryan Williams and Renacci, and he was going to, give the reins over to Renacci because, CEO, I guess. And every good company needs a CEO and extra payroll
Hmm.
to float things too. But so that was, the grassroots candidate handing things over to Renacci, I guess, the ultra mega
But do you think he's out?
Renacci. I think that's still very plausible. I
I
mean,
think
no,
that's in play,
in
honestly.
those, I mean, I have had no one answer yes or no.
Well, I had no one answer, but let's just think logically. If no one, what has happened in 2 months that they're not still thinking teamwork, even though Bryan did throw the reformers under the bus at the last
Yeah,
meeting.
we need to go back to that recording and really listen to that again, because he really did in that moment at that meeting throw, the reformers under the bus, like, oh, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, Mr. Paduchek. They did it, not me.
Was it me? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Wasn't me. So yeah, I don't know why now they're all, ready to back him, or why they would be ready to back him after throwing them under the bus. And
Well, not throwing him under the bus, him throwing them
mhm.
under the bus, saying like it was
Yeah.
all them.
Right. It wasn't me,
They
Mr.
came to
Producer.
me
They
and
came
said
to
that
me.
I could do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, they tagged me, which could be further
Mr.
from the
Chairman
truth.
of Summit County Board of Elections member, I didn't know
Yeah.
anything, but I was just vice chair.
Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, that's ridiculous. Summit County has historically had, problems between Bryan Williams, um financial to
Sorry.
householder, 71,000 to householder. It was kind of, a round of, do not pass go, do not collect $200. They
Well,
just
wasn't
kept
it was his business partner, right?
passing,
HB6.
Longstreth, yeah. And he was arm twisting to get people to use Longstreth. And and then he was appointed by DeWine to the Akron County trustees, and then he ended up hiring a lady that embezzled, like legit embezzled from I think an Akron frat to the Summit County GOP as like secretary or something crazy like that. And then some Melissa lady.
Oh my God, he had the Summit County Board of Elections thing too, didn't he, with the
Mm-hmm.
nursing home?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, it didn't Frank LaRose go after him
And
to try to get him?
yeah. There was a whole, disagreement between him and Frank LaRose, and trying to get him thrown off of the Board of Elections because dead people were voting, and or nursing home, people
Well,
were.
wasn't it their like a manager like dropped off a bunch of ballots or something?
Yeah. And so it just he's had his fair share of issues in Summit County, and ties to House Bill 6. And
How did he perform this election cycle in Summit? Do you know?
Well, 6 of the 29
Okay, that
candidates.
face alone, you're like, like, no.
In researching that, now I haven't dug as deep on some of the other candidates' races, but in Summit County, 6 of 29 candidates, and that's local and statewide, lost. 6 won. Yeah. 6 of 29. 6
23, 6-1, 23. I think you're so shocked by the little 6-1.
Yeah.
6-1, 23 lost.
And they lost Summit County specifically. We're just looking at Summit County. They lost in Summit County. Now, some of those candidates won statewide.
Our Steve Bannon, I'm the grassroots MAGA guy, lost.
But, DeWine won in his county. He delivered for DeWine.
Well, of course he did. He wasn't one of the first people to.
Not so much for Gustito. So, I mean, But
how the justices do in that kind of all the justices win?
I can't remember off the top of my head, but
we gotta look back.
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. They did not win in those counties. But how does Frank LaRose win in what they're billing as a Democratic county, and the judges lose, and DeWine wins, but it's whatever.
But can we address this too? Didn't he raise so much money?
No, he had one donation.
Of what?
I want to say like 900,000, 600,000.
Okay,
somewhere.
So that's what they're talking
donation.
about. This one donation.
Yeah, he was the biggest fundraiser. Yeah, no, it was one donation. He actually spent more than he raised until that one donation. And so that was that. Alex Triantaflu. What do you know about this fella?
Well, I didn't really know much. So, you know me, I gotta look. And Hamilton County, he was I'm actually sorry, I'm old lady.
You're fine.
Right now he's a partner of council, which means it's like you're basically a partner, which means you're on like the voting boards, right?
Yeah. He's a
Okay, so he's
partner in
partner
the
of
firm.
council at Dinsmore and Scholl. Now, what I found interesting about that, and it's common, a lot of law firms, have this, but they have a pack. But what I found interesting about this pack that he's partner at the law firm, so he has to be kind of somewhat involved in the decisions on where monies go for your pack, right? I would
I would think
think, but I'm
so.
not saying he does. Um, but they're top donors, and I always track back a couple years to be fair, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
2007, I went back to 2017. Uh, their top donations were to David Yost for one, to Hamilton County Democratic Party, the Hamilton County Republican Party, who Alex
Wait,
Trounsley is also
wait. Did
chair.
you just say they contributed to the Democratic Party?
Yeah, and also it's so funny is the Ohio Democrat Party and the Ohio Republican State Central Co- Committee Executive Central for the State Candidate Fund. They also give to that. Now, I believe Dave Yost was like from 2017, 16,000. I know Hamilton County Democrat Party got 9,500.
Oh
Um,
wow.
the Hamilton Republicans got 250 less though. They got 9,250 since 2015. And the Democrat Party, I believe, was like 8,000. Don't quote me because it might have been like 7,000. I just don't have it in front of me.
So who got
Um,
more? Who got more? The Ohio Republican Party or the Ohio Democratic Party?
are we counting Dave Yost as the candidate who got?
No, no, no. We're talking party to party. Ohio Republican Party, Ohio Democratic Party. Who got more money from this pack? I can tell by your face that maybe it was the Democratic Party. The Ohio Democratic Party got more?
Yeah,
Wow.
but they play. But think about it; it's a law firm, and you know what I found interesting is the services of Mr. Tranzaflu is government services, tort, white collar crime, specifically white collar crimes too is listed under his profile at Dinsmore. I was like, that's
Oh,
funny.
well, that's
Um,
comforting as a chair. I mean, we always need that
no, yeah, we need litigators, you know.
for white collar crime.
Anyways, but he's the typical Republican. He was on the Hamilton County Board of Municipal Courts, appointed by Taft twice, Governor Bob Taft, I believe. Um, I mean, really for a judge, he was pretty young. You know what I mean?
To be a
To be
pick of a
appointed, but
GOP, yeah.
he's just been
Well,
around.
at that level, the county gives the names of who they want to be appointed, and then the governor does his thing. He takes the picks or he doesn't.
Well, he was in the
And
news recently too. I
oh
think I
yeah,
sent you that
okay,
about the prosecutor Hamilton County. It's up to him to choose. It's to him to delegate since he's chair and on the board of elections.
okay,
It's up to him to choose the next prosecutor, unless he goes on the state central this Friday, and then and that's what he's shooting for. He wanted to make sure to tell everybody he's not going for the prosecutor job because he wants the chair. Um,
gotcha.
yeah. So he also sits on a bunch of board. It's the board things, you know what I mean? He sits on the Bar Association of Cincinnati. He's at the Talbert House, which I think is like a halfway house or something. He's the Board of Trustees, Domestic Violence Coordinating of Hamilton County Judicial Screening Committee. He was part of with some boy mentorship back when he was. I mean, it's the typical Republican resume of.
Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. I thought he
But
sat on the board of elections, the Hamilton County Board of Elections as well, right?
yes,
Yeah.
Yes. And I think he's a state central committeeman, isn't he? I know he was last
The
term.
chair, the last I saw, he's the chair.
No, no, no. I'm talking about the state central committee. He was on it last year. Did he
Oh,
get
okay.
reelected?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty positive he did. Um, I didn't follow all of that because, again, the committee's going to vote how the committee votes. I don't,
I'm not going to tell how the committee how to vote.
arm
It's not our
twisting
duty.
and, idle threats and, sweetening the pot is never a good look.
No.
So, so what do you know about Dale Fellows? I had heard, he's just pretty, pretty low key guy, pretty vanilla.
I love that you just said vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla, pretty,
Well, he was a little vanilla. But again, we do some research. We like to read, so I like to look at finances. He owns he owns two businesses, Morgan Letho and Eagle Advertising.
Yeah, Eagle
So
Advertising.
so first I looked up Eagle, nothing. And then I looked up Morgan Letho because it's a printing service. So you would think printing service.
Yeah, the
campaign.
ORP should, yeah.
I mean,
probably.
like, could you be in a better position right
Yeah,
now for business?
lit drops, I'm sure everybody needs some lit.
Yeah. So again, I go back to 2017 because I like to give people like a couple years and stuff, to be fair. But from campaign payouts to his company for his services is about 427,000 since 2017. Specifically, the state central committee, two factions, the candidates fund and the state restricted fund, has paid him a little over 250,000. And what I found interesting was he got smaller amounts back in like 2018, 2019. And
it's ramped up.
It's increasing.
It's increasing.
So
what would happen? He would have to step.
Though.
He would have to step away. I mean, he couldn't. It's a conflict of interest. He couldn't have those contracts or be doing business in that large of amount to his own company.
So how would he step down from his business that he owns with his son? Would he step down and the son owns the business and then we still do the work? Like that still, I just feel like that's like a huge,
I mean, as far as I know, he's listed as the statutory agent on those businesses. So,
yes. And I found it interesting. He bought Morgan Litho in the 80s.
Yeah.
With a high school friend.
That's right. The high school friend on Morgan Litho is the statutory agent, and he's the statutory agent on Eagle Advertising. I think.
I know, but remember Morgan Litho was canceled. So I don't know. Because we tried to find the articles in court.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything. I don't know if you came up with anything. It's just very weird. How do you do business in Ohio?
Registered in a different state is what I was told, by the way. I found that out today.
Okay. But the most, I mean, how does that work if the sum total of your business is done in Ohio?
Doesn't matter. It can be registered. From what I was told, I don't know that like 100%. But from what I was told, it doesn't matter. You can register your business like pretty much
wherever you want.
Yeah, or out of the country.
Offshore.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Funny though, because
that is
Morgan Litho started in Ohio back in the 18. Remember the 18? We did a little deep dive on the Ringling Brothers.
That was kind of crazy. They had like
circus.
Yeah, the Ringling Brothers was their first like big account, and won at like the World's Fair and like in Paris's World's Fair or something like that. And although it's changed hands, right? It was named something else, something lithography or something like that.
But it was always a printing company.
Yeah. Its roots are kind of the same.
So that's pretty much Fellows. Sits on other committees, was a commissioner, was a state central person at one point, was same story, different song.
I wanted to mention too, we forgot to mention Bryan Williams is a lobbyist times two. So if you have problems with Stewart, which
Oh,
we're
Ohio
going
Home
to,
Builders. Well, yeah, we're gonna get back to
and
him.
the
Ohio Home
school
Builders
and the
Association.
school health something or other
Well, didn't he
lobbyist.
get kicked off the school board by Kasich because he was appointed by Kasich and then he had to resign because of
Yeah, conflict
interest?
of interest with the school health something or other lobby group. So that's interesting. And I don't sorry, I gotta close this out.
I know. I just got
It's
the
beeping
same.
at me. um it's interesting that people that say, oh no, we can't with Jimmy Stewart because he's a lobbyist. Bryan Stewart is also a lobbyist. So on to Jimmy Stewart. I don't know a ton about him. I know he's like an oil and gas lobbyist. I know he's the chair in Mix County. I know he's also on the board of
Well,
elections,
he
which
just recently became chair to give it to Mr. Stewart, 2022. He's not, 21 years like Mr. Dave Fellows,
okay.
21 years as like county chair.
Hmm.
You know what I found interesting though is when I was looking at Dave Fellows, not to like go back to him, but I did find it funny. There was a nonpartisan lobbyist group that ran into him this year and had not so nice things to say about Mr. Fellows, about how he was the boss of Lake County and, pushed his weight around. But also, I saw the YouTube video of him at a school board meeting in 2022. And where the school board's been Title IX issues,
Yeah.
parents' rights issues.
Yeah.
No. He decided to begin talking about how they did not stop their meeting and greet members of his political organization last meeting that they attended, and then direct them on how to say the Pledge of Allegiance appropriately, which whatever, you know what I mean, to each his own. But then, I mean, he goes on to say, and I'll give it to the guy, like, don't give up your powers to the superintendent, but like, we're not going to bring up the bathroom issue or the ESSER money or the state funds coming through or the million of other issues that parents actually care about.
Yeah.
No, it's you disrespected your party candidate, your party political leaders and for your county. And
I'm just going to tell you now, most of those school board members have no idea who their county political leaders are. I'm just going to be frank.
Know who he was.
I mean,
and
they
wearing
don't
a mask in 2022. So I'm sorry, conservative.
What? Nope. Just say no.
I'm just gonna shut it at that point. But yeah, it didn't bring up anything but the Pledge of Allegiance too. I had to school them on how they said that wrong,
So circle back to Stewart in Meigs County, also
should
on
be
the
happy
board.
they're saying it.
Yeah, I guess.
At this point.
But Stewart is like new to the chairman game, but he also sits on a board of election.
No, he's not new. Jimmy Stewart is a House rep in 2002 to 2006, 2006, I believe. I might be a little wrong on that.
2002, 2006. No, 92nd district in the Ohio House of Representatives.
But 20th as a senator in 2000.
Senate majority floor, yeah.
Yes. Senate majority floor in late 2010. In 2011, he resigned before his term ended in 2012 be on the Ohio Gas Association where he's been since for no reason at all.
Because
nothing happened.
He's an oil and gas lobbyist, so I mean.
What happened that year, which was interesting, but has nothing to do with it, according to some, is SB 5. Do you remember SB 5?
No.
SB 5 was
yes, I do, because I'm a nurse and collective bargaining.
Yeah, they're trying to take collective bargaining. It was rescinded. It was a referendum the same year.
Yeah.
Nurses. But it had nothing to do with that, even though there's news articles with reporters asking if Mr. was that.
I mean,
but
not all
nurses
in Ohio.
Karen,
not all nurses in Ohio are unionized. Just the unionized nurses were furious with
it. Was unconstitutional. Let's just say that at least. And John Kasich tried to pull some, But Mr. Stewart was the third, I think, in leadership. But I've been told, even though the paper said it, even though it's not true, he had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
So, but
Okay.
according to some,
According to some.
no correlation there, even though the plain dealer said it.
So he's currently the president
the plain
of
dealer
the.
asked him, and he said no. But it's like, why would you resign to be appointed to Ohio Gas Association a year before? And why wouldn't you go to the House? Why wouldn't you continue your political career? Well, I don't think it was money. I think you knew you were going to get voted in again because
Spent all of your political capital.
Yeah. You want to stay in the game. Plus, he has the water thing on lock. I mean, since 2011, he was appointed by Kasich for the Majigger.
Ohio Water Development Authority Board.
Yeah. So the thing in Majigger, I sound so professional. People listen to me. No, but he's appointed to that. So and then in 2019, he was appointed again. So he's on that to 2027. So again, another question. How is the appropriateness of...
Wait, they're appointed for like a 7 or 8 year term?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the library boards that are
Well, they give out loans for infrastructure deals for water. They're like it's like a bank.
A bank.
4% high interest.
I wanna work in a bank.
Do you have any water infrastructure deals in your city that you could,
Yeah. So let's talk about Gene. What do we know about Gene?
Well, come on, we know about Gene. I like Gene.
Gene.
So can I tell you how I met Gene Anderson?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like Gene's like, whatever, but I'm just saying this time I met Gene Anderson. I was messing around in Erie County and I met this nice old lady.
The old ladies always get you right in the mouth.
And she's not old. I don't mean old.
No. I'm teasing.
Nice, older, beautiful
lady. Yeah.
Mom's gonna smack me. But she tricked me. But I'm a really hard person to trick. Like,
she tricked you?
I underestimated the woman. She looks nice, but I totally underestimated her. I'm not gonna lie.
She's super sweet.
We don't need to go into details, Karen.
She's super sweet.
She's very nice. She's I believe the only reformer that wants to run. I don't even know why she wants to run. Honestly, because
there's a lot to do. And when I found out she was a candidate, I friended her up, and gosh,
strong.
She's just a class act. I mean, she's just a class act.
Well, okay, so being a little particular, she was the mayor of my city, Vermilion.
Yeah.
So she went after. So I want to say though, at being mayor of Vermilion, people talk about standing up against the establishment, and Vermilion is it.
Yeah, girlfriend stood tall.
She stood tall. There's stories, let Jean tell you them, but and she survived 3 years in office. So, and especially under the circumstances that she did.
Yeah. Isn't Marcy Kaptur in your backyard? Didn't she have to work with Marcy Kaptur?
Well, yeah, Marcy
as mayor of Vermilion.
She used to do the snake on the lake. So across the entire lake, which is like my whole area, she owned. But her district got cut up, and now she's in Erie, which is Jean's. And Jean did run for state central committee against and I don't want to say establishment, but let's say middle of the road, moderate. I hate that word. Moderate candidate Patty Stein, her husband's House Rep Dick Stein. He's my House Rep. And she only lost we have 3 counties in our Senate district, by the way. We have Erie, Lorain, and Huron. So she lost by 56 votes.
Okay, so that's a
telling.
Yeah, that
need for change.
Yeah.
And she ran on the Promise Keepers platforms, just because she believed in it. And that's one of the things she told me personally, she didn't really like, because the financials need to be a little bit, but the committee should know, but whatever. But
and again, Bryan Williams was vice chair when all of that was going on. So how is he not complicit and or culpable?
Yeah. So to get on as mayor, she ran a grassroots initiative in 2005, and that's what kind of established her to run for mayor. She homeschooled her girls
She said that, and that's
in the
amazing in and of
80s.
itself. Oh my gosh. Like I
That
tried.
wasn't a thing.
I tried hard, and I was like, I'm a nurse. I can't teach children, especially
Well,
my
and she
own.
told me she had to like give up a lot to do that. But then also she really has a strong she's on Lorraine County committee, she's on the executive committee, she served on the mental health board. We'll go through all the right to life. She organized the right to life campaign out here. She's always been a member of the Tea Party since its establishment, since its founding, and been active in that. And and she's the only reformer slash
Grassroots.
grassroots,
Yeah.
non-affiliated, no special interest candidate that we have currently for
And why aren't they singing her praises? Why aren't they beating down the door to
because why would they want
support?
to reform?
I mean, crickets on every
Well,
front.
my biggest thing is all
Except
these people that
emails.
ran as
Except
reformers.
emails in the war room.
Yeah. And if Bannon was going to have Bryan Williams on too, why not give all of these candidates an opportunity to say something? How democratic of him
if
is
Jack
that?
Windsor was going to do a news story on
That's my thing
Bryan
too.
Williams, why not do them on all the candidates?
Well, that's like my thing also is where are our news outlets covering all of them? Now thank God there is going to be a forum
Wednesday, the 4th.
Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday.
That's what I had heard as well.
But I also heard people lying like, oh, Jean's not going.
Jean's not going. Jean's not going.
She put in all this effort, but why go?
And because Jean's not going because she dropped out, right?
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, but
liar, pants on fires.
So I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, if you're true to your values and beliefs, and you meant what you said, and you said what you meant, then you should be in line behind Jean Anderson.
The promise keeper should.
And I know that there's, more.
But silence, but we get
silence. But even more so, than the people that were built as not, those that weren't for reform or whatever, status quo or whatever they're calling them. Even those people have to be tired of the
fighting,
the infighting, the tit for tat,
it's ridiculous.
I sue you, you counter sue
me. And it's counterproductive. Exactly what you're about to say. Counterproductive.
Yeah, and it's making us look like ridiculous.
Well, Karen, what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over, getting the same results,
expecting the same result. I mean, a different result.
A different result.
Getting the same.
Oh, I'll have another drink on that. I said that wrong. But you know what I mean? It is. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. If you're doing the same, if Bryan Williams was the vice chair when all this laundering supposedly occurred, how is that any different? How is he not complicit? How is he not culpable? If you're wanting,
because he can win the magic I'm the grassroots candidate one, and everybody's like,
I'm a lobbyist times 2. He worked two lobbyists, special interest lobbyist groups. Okay.
Jimmy what really bothers me about that too is the push with Shannon Burns to have that other forum and stuff, and specifically leaving Jean out of it. Just to be
well, and I don't think Stewart went.
Guy.
Yeah,
no, I don't. Stewart's he didn't partake because he was like.
Yeah, no.
So I'll give it to him.
Yeah, props to him for seeing that it wasn't a fair and conducive forum to bring everybody in, to give everybody a shot, to give everybody the microphone. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's censoring speech.
Pretty
So if you're censoring speech and you're only asking the people you want there, I mean, that's fine. It's your forum. You can do whatever you want. However,
maybe not do in the name of the SEC.
Yeah, right. Then do it in the name of your seat, because it's not.
Yeah,
it's not inviting the whole. It's not
No.
inviting the whole body. And there were some state central committee people that were like, hey, we didn't get invited to this.
That's just not right.
Right.
And that's my biggest thing with, like, you know, pushing a unifier or somebody that wants to unify or unite, is because what other choice do you have?
It's time. First of all, it's time.
It's way past time. And you speak and you push and you preach change, but then you go mute and want to slide in the basically establishment quo, like status quo, you know?
Status quo, yeah.
Like establishment quo.
I like it. Yeah, hashtag establishment quo.
I kind of like it. Because think about it. What do all these members have in common? And I know that's what the party looks for in a candidate. They're all chairs. They're all on the board of elections. They all have special, very.
And how are people feeling in Ohio about our elections? So does it matter? Does it matter? Because they're not hearing the people sitting in these places. And if there's a problem, you know, what are they doing about it? That would be my question. Like, if there's a problem and you're on this board, like, what are you doing about it to instill
they're
confidence?
Not doing anything. Like, the committee's not working. It's just staying how it's always been.
Well, and I think that's the frustration, but I think that's the frustration of both sides.
I think everybody's frustrated. I think they just want to have a managing, cohesive party that we can actually be functionable and grow our.
And not a dictator. You talk about a dictator.
Oh my
not
God,
a dictator. Yeah. Somebody that genuinely wants to put the issues on the table and give everybody equal, you know, equal airtime, equal voice, equal.
Well, and understand it's not their role as chair to push their agenda.
No,
it's their job as chair to facilitate a meeting and allow everybody an opportunity to participate.
Well, and those things should be coming down from the state central committee members, from their constituents to, you know, the state, and then the state should be coming back with that support. And I think that that's the failure right now of our state central committee. It's like every board, it's upside down, right? And they don't understand the role. They don't understand how it's supposed to operate.
But has anybody ever taken the time to teach them either?
Well,
and that's another thing we need in our leader. And that's another reason why I like, you know, Jean. And I'm not, you know, what we always say is we're never going to say that we're for this candidate or we're endorsing a candidate. We'll never endorse a candidate, because why? People will
fail you.
Always. Doesn't matter who you are. You could be a saint.
If you stand on your values and you stand on your morals, best piece of advice we got. So, you know, standing in that gap and, you know, speaking over, you know, both sides of the table, and mediating that and helping them find solutions is really who I hope, you know, is the person that they're looking to select. And
but it's not, you know, our vote.
It's not, but the funds will come, you know, they always have. And opening up the books is ridiculous. I mean, who's gonna donate if you open up the books?
That'd be a very sad party.
Yeah, I mean, so transparency to a certain degree, sure. Anyone
and within the committee member, I think if you're on the committee, you have every
just like Congress. Congress has access, you know what I mean? But
we'll sign like a privacy thing or something, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to.
And questions should be asked and answered appropriately and timely. I'm not debating that.
And how about respectfully? Like, let's have some civil discourse, not scream and yell at each other every meeting and argue and you're breaking the law, because, that's one thing we do have to address. Come on.
The ORC,
it's not a thing.
That they have to be part of the
1.02 is not a thing.
No,
it's not a thing.
No, they don't have to be a part of the committee. And I think
you don't get to pick apart sentences and apply them the way that you like. Right. John.
Tomorrow. So misleading people that, maybe
Well, and being more divisive. What does suing do? What does abstaining from a vote and suing do?
created chaos.
And divide. Just
Mm-hmm.
keep dividing. And that's exactly what I told Mr. Morrow to all of you Morrow followers.
Well, and that's why I posted on Main Street, a house divided, what? Can't stand. If we continue down this path, we won't have to worry about the Democrats. We'll implode ourselves. So
Well, we already are.
Keep doing what you're doing, and we'll get what we've always gotten. So,
but it's a couple of days before, and the energy the week or two before the last meeting was
high. It's very low until War Room with Bannon and emails from Tom Z.
Yeah, but that's been just like trickles compared to what it was last.
And Paquita lamenting that he agrees with Tom Z.
I love that. It's gonna bite you.
It's very telling.
And he's been silent. Where have you been, Paquita?
Where you been, brother?
SB 178. You're still talking about Title IX.
Well, he went to the school board and talked about Title IX, which was decided with the niece opinion and order. Like, why don't you read that at the school board and tell them, like, done. Precedent set. And many people are suing. Many people will continue to sue on the school front, and we're using our, judiciary to legislate. And so, keep doing what you've always done, and you'll get what you've always gotten. I think is the bottom line here as we kind of wrap up. But, I hope that these State Central Committee people are, digging deep and doing their due diligence. As much as we have, and as much as we've tried to be in the know and understand the candidates and where they come from and how they operate and who they operate with.
Yes, and even though we're slow and we don't know how to operate Facebook Live,
that's right.
Doesn't mean
that
we aren't a little bit right here. But I do want to see the commonality. Like, I just feel like the four others are just voting for the same person, but it's not my vote, so I can't tell you who to vote for. No. I can say that I won't trust your opinion.
I hope. I hope.
I pray that you think.
I pray for discernment of all the members.
I love
that they can see and see things for what it is. Period. End of story. So
shit. I'm joking.
Well, and seek wisdom. That's all you can do. Knowledge is power. So good chat.
Happy New Year. We're not the enemies. Not the enemies. It's gonna be a fun year, and we're not going anywhere. We've been quiet, but we've been busy putting some stuff together.
Lots of fun things to come, but
we're exhausted. You see our eyes.
Technology is really defeating us right now on Facebook, so we're gonna have to look for a different platform.
I'm done with Facebook.
It's because we're shadow banned. I'm telling you, things are not there that are supposed to be there for me.
Well, it's like my sound. I record on my phone. You can hear me just fine. I record on Facebook. I'm like,
people are like, I can't hear you. So that's why I have my earbuds in tonight. But thank you for all of the research that you've done. I appreciate it.
Thank you for everything you've done. We look at us both, you guys. This is what you look like after reading.
I know.
Just like puppy face, eyes stung.
Yeah, we're like this to the screen, trying to really get a beat on these candidates and really put the information out. A nipple. You need a nipple. Put great information out, and that is really the point of why we do what we do for our kids. And for their future. So,
but whoever goes to the vote on Friday, we will see you there. We probably won't look so.
Yeah, I won't guarantee a thing. So stay focused. Well,
Ohio. I'm bougie, so I'll be like,
stay focused, Ohio.
Stay focused, Ohio. Love you guys.
See ya.
Love you, Karen. Happy New Year. Love
Happy New Year.
Excited.